Hello and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be doing a test on my Fisker Ocean. We all know that the Ocean does not have the ability to precondition the cabin if you're using the app or key fob or anything else. There's no way to have the car running with that remotely. However, there is a way to have the cabin start heating or cooling when you're sitting in it, and then when you get out, let's see if we can find a way to keep it running. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is take some temperature readings in the cabin. I'm getting 61, 60.9, all around that 60 to 61 range. So what I'll do is when I try to do the cabin heating, I'm going to let it sit here and see how long I can get it to run for. If you watch my video on having the windshield wipers in service mode, I'm going to try that same procedure that I did in that video and see if that makes a difference. So the first thing I did was get in the car. And I'm going to have everything start up. Okay, the car has started up. First thing I'm going to do is put the climate control on. I'm going to have it set for, let's see, what temperature? I'm going to have the fan set for 4. I'm going to set the temperature to 72. Also, I'm going to have the car in fun mode. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into service, and I'm going to go into vehicle and service. And then down here, I'm going to have the windshield wipers in service access. Oh, I got to make sure my wipers are set to off, and now I can set it to service mode. And I am curious to see what temperature we get in the vehicle. All right, so I am going to leave the key on the center console here. I don't recommend leaving the key in the car if you don't have the windows or doors open, but I do have an extra key fob and key cards, so it's not a big deal for me. So I am going to exit the car. Going to close the door. I'm not going to lock it. I'm going to leave it in this condition, and I'm going to see how long it stays on. All right, the car has been running for about 10 minutes now with the heater going, and I turned on my Bluetooth battery monitor, and I noticed that the car is charging the 12-volt battery. If you look at it, it's at 4.11 volts right now. So at some point in the last 10 minutes, it turned on, but it also seems to be following the schedule. But if you notice, the charging seems to be going on longer than the normal amount if you look at the previous 1-hour increments here. So I'm guessing it's charging up to 12 volt while it's staying in ready mode, which is definitely a good thing because you don't want the battery to get low while you're heating the car. So that is definitely something I noticed while it is heating up. It is now 20 minutes into my test, and I see that the internal temperature is around 69.6 degrees. The car is still in ready mode, and we have the HVAC is still working. So good news so far. The windshield wipers are still in service mode. I'm going to continue letting this go. It's probably going to stop at 30 minutes, so I'll test that out. All right, it is at 28 minutes. The car is still in ready mode. The wipers are still in service mode. And the temperature inside now is 71.2 degrees, so pretty close to my preset 72 on the HVAC. Let's see, it should be turning off in about a minute or so. It's now 29 minutes since I started the test. I'm just going to keep this going and watch it shut off in real time. And just like that, 30 minutes and the wipers just went back to their normal position. The car is off of ready mode. And if we look at the inside temperature, it is 71.4 degrees. So very interesting. Let me get out my handheld thermometer and I am going to be testing. Yeah, so at the vents right now, it's 76.3, 76.9, 76.6. So yeah, it is pretty good. And I'm getting 72.7 just on the seats, 71.1, and that pretty much matches my thermometer that's inside. So yeah, so my first test was a success. I didn't need to do anything different. So this is what I would suggest for the preconditioning of the cabin, is to put the car in fun mode, which is very important because fun mode allows full HVAC access and capacity. So definitely have it in fun mode. Put the service mode on for the wipers. Keep the key fob inside the car in the center console area. And that's about it. That's how I got 30 minutes of preheating in the car, and I'm sure that would work also with cooling. Another good thing is that the 12-volt battery was charged during this process. I'm actually going to look at the battery monitor and make a comment on that. Okay, I just checked the battery monitor and the vehicle, and yes, it did stay charging for the time that it was on the preconditioning mode that I did. So let me look at the history. As you can see, the 12 volt turned off when the ready mode turned off. And I'm also going to look at the history. Yeah, so it seems like it was running for the entire time that the car was in preconditioning mode. So that is a good sign, because that means that the 12 volt will not get too used up when you're in this mode, since that does require a lot out of the car. All right, so that answered my question. And yeah, so that's what I recommend. I'll put this in the video description for the preconditioning. Unfortunately, there is no preconditioning mode on the app or on the key fob, but we have an alternate way of getting the inside heated. Another thing I would suggest is, if you have frost on your windshield or windows, I would turn on the defrost on here and here, and that would help too. And that will also turn on the heated mirrors. So an FYI for conditioning the car. So I'm pretty happy with the results. If you find that this works or doesn't work in your vehicle, please let me know in the comments section below. By the way, I have version 2.2 of the software of the Fisker Ocean, so not sure if that makes any difference. Please let me know what version you're on and if it works or doesn't work for you. That's about it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.